Hey, welcome back to Geekshow Arcade.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Yeah. Hi. We back.
That's right. Geekshow Arcade. First episode of 2024. It's the new year, new us.
Do you think this year can be as good as last year?
Oh, I hope it
with
can
the
be
game
better.
releases?
It
I'm not
can't
talking
be
about,
worse,
I'm
right?
not, I'm not talking
for
about
games.
generally.
For
Yeah,
games?
for
No,
games.
there's no way this year's going to match last year.
Yeah, we peaked.
Last year was just peak video
This is the
game.
cool down. This is the honey glows. This is the afterglow.
Yeah.
You could
The
say.
good news for me, though, is I only actually played like one game to completion, so 2024 will actually be everyone else's 2023 for me.
Right.
Maybe.
Right. You're doing the delay.
Interesting.
You did the delay. Okay. Slow
All
down, I
right.
see.
He only beat one game last year. He's Jaren.
Hey, I'm Jaren. You can find me on Twitter at Jaren.
This is Geek Show Arcade. I forgot to mention that, where we talk about gadgets. I mean, that's an old one. Video games. Maybe gadgets that video games use. You never
True.
know.
Tony's 1 week out of practice. Give him some slack here, guys. It's okay.
Just get back in the groove. Got to find that butt groove. Let's
What?
finish introducing our panelists. Yeah,
I thought I heard a
Jaren's
word.
ears perked up. Lando.
Hey, it's Lando. I got a butt groove. Things are going great.
There you go.
Your face is a butt groove.
Oh, that was very nice, Jaren.
Jeez,
It just fell. It
It's-
it flowed.
it flowed
cheeky.
right out.
How
like
cheeky.
stuff out of his butt. Oh, he's got the cheeky jokes. It's Owen.
Hey, I too have cheeks. And
Oh, this was a
find
great
me-
episode.
you can find me here or on Twitter at Technoan. Usually hanging out here with the host. His name's Tony.
Hey, I got no butt jokes.
But really?
The end.
Oh.
Check me out on Twitter at QuadTTony or on the other Geek Show podcasts.
Yeah.
There is one of the best butt jokes I've ever seen in my life is on the regular show. I think it's the second or third episode of the series. And they show Rigby, who lost half of his butt in some sort of accident.
Forgot about that.
And it shows a butt with only one full cheek and then one blank space with stitches. It's so funny.
I love that show.
The regular show is absolutely fantastic. All right. This is where we talk about video games, though.
Not
But
butts.
before we do that, maybe a little bit of butts. Do we have any emails?
Yeah, we got 2.
All right.
Got one from Benjamin. He says, that 2015 Final Fantasy VII E3 reveal, if I remember correctly, was a tech demo trailer for the PS4. I might be mixing in rumors at this point, but I recall hearing they had no intention of remaking Final Fantasy VII. Due to reaction, they went forward with the remake. That's how I remember it, anyhow.
No, that sounds right. Yeah. I
Time
think
frame
he's right.
fits. Took 4 to 5 years of development. On the topic of Zelda, rose-colored glasses, I still think Twilight Princess is still one of the best. I agree. I love Twilight Princess.
It's good. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. All right. Thanks for writing in. Do we have,
Got an email from Moses.
we have another one. He should stop
Yeah,
talking.
I said 2. I said 2.
know.
Moses.
You just stop talking then.
Yeah. Got an email from Moses. He says, good day, Owen, Jaren, Tony, and special guest. Moses here.
Lambo special.
I was wondering if you have any Mandela effects on any of your childhood games. I'm sorry if my example triggers your special guest. As an example, playing The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past in the early 90s, my brother and I would have our friend help us unlock Link's white tunic with the help of his gamer's guide. I remember very vividly having done this multiple times. However, no one that I've talked to about this game in the past 20 years seems to have ever remembered that there was a white tunic, which makes me wonder if it was ever real. The internet
never
doesn't seem to
of
help much
this.
in searches, but that isn't too surprising. Thanks for the memories, Moses. I don't remember a white tunic.
No, I wonder if it was a Game Genie thing where it would have been not a cheat, but like, because a lot of the times the Game Genie stuff wasn't actual cheats. It would actually like alter the code of the game while you were playing to give you infinite lives or things like that. But yeah, that sounds like a Mandela effect to me.
A group misremembering something in
Like the
historical
Berenstain Bears, how it's spelled.
You mean Bernstein?
I don't remember.
event. Berenstain.
That one
Exactly
gets
my
me.
point.
There's another one out there. There's something. I have to find.
Well, the whole reason that it's called the Mandela effect is because some people think Nelson Mandela died in prison.
What's
when in
the
reality,
famous
he-
quote from Field of Dreams, Jaron? If you build it, do you know it?
No, I'm waiting for you to tell me.
We asked you to finish it.
If you
I've
build
never
it-
seen that. Why would I know?
Oh.
What?
So the way I remember it is, if you build it, they will come, and the real quote is, if you build it, he will come. But everyone misremembers it. It's a big, huge example of the Mandela effect.
Well, I'm glad I didn't get caught into your little trick then.
I thought it was they as well. It's he.
Told
huh?
you.
Huh.
Crazy.
Yeah,
huh?
I guess another one is Luke, I am your father.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's one of the most misquoted lines in cinema history.
Yeah.
But he's talking about video game Mandela effects. I can't say that I can think of any that I have experienced off the top of my head. You guys?
Unfortunately,
No white tunic stories for us.
I feel
No.
bad about it.
I don't have groups of people, so that would just be me misremembering something and standing by it and being like, "No, that's the way it was."
But if it's you alone and you misremembered it, it might as well be reality at that point.
Exactly, it's no
'Cause
Mandela
nobody's there
effect
to
here.
question you.
I mean, there's a bunch of people rattling around up here, but like, we eventually all just either give up or go have some Mountain Dew or something. But
It all works out in the end.
yeah, yeah.
Well, there you go. If I remember any, I'll try to bring it up. But thanks for writing in, folks. Appreciate that. Good start of the new year, 2024. If I say it enough, I won't mistype it. That's the way I look at it. If I say it enough, then I won't mistype it at work over
That's
the next
I'm
month.
smart,
screwed.
actually.
2024.
And the problem with my career is like typing the wrong year can have really bad effects. Like misreporting things. It's tricky.
Indeed, indeed. Well, speaking of 2024, or the turn of the new year, I should say, we got a couple of interesting stories here that show off the most played and the most voted for games on Steam. One specifically is the most played Steam Deck games of 2023. And the other one would be the Steam Award results for 2023 that were just posted today or yesterday, really, really recently. So we'll kick it off with the most played Steam Decks of 2023. And I got to say, I did not see some of these coming and being on there because they're just games I wouldn't have played on the Steam Deck. But they have 3 different tiers, Platinum, Gold, and Silver, which makes me wonder why they didn't just go with Gold, Silver, Bronze. But, oh well.
No one wants bronze. That's
That's-
why.
I guess so. So I believe they're in no particular order. It's just like the top games that they broke into these 3 different categories, and we
Platinum
will start.
is better though, right? Like,
Yeah, Platinum's the
those
best.
Okay.
We'll start with Silver, and so these are the most played games on the Steam Deck of 2023, because Steam, they definitely keep track of all that data. They know what you're playing. They know how long you're playing it. They know what you're playing it on. All of that jazz. And some of the highlights from the Silver category of most played games on Steam Deck. This one I was surprised because it's a pretty old game. The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. That game came out, I don't know, like 6+ years ago.
Never heard of it.
There you go. Making the list as well, though, was God of War, Fallout 4, Jedi Fallen Order. Always on there, Skyrim Special Edition. That game, there's always players playing Skyrim. No Man's Sky made the cut. Marvel Spider-Man Remaster. Last of Us Part 1.
Really, that game runs like trash. At least it did when it came out.
Exactly. Fallout 4 and Lethal Company made the cut. That's a brand new game, too. I'm surprised it was able to sneak in with only that amount of time on the market, even in early access. Hi-Fi Rush made the cut. Remnant 2. I don't know. I've never heard of this game, but Jaron, you might have to look it up. The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog.
What? How dare they?
That's what it says.
Oh, I've heard of this game. It's
What?
Like,
For
yeah. Yeah, I think it's like a... Oh, what do they call it? Like a...
An adventure game?
No, like a storybook, choose your own adventure type game.
The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, came out in
It's a
March.
murder mystery party game.
Oh, it's
Amy
free.
Rose- Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
I remember reading about this.
All right. Well, Sons of the Forest and a few other ones that are kind of pretty niche. Octopath Traveler 2.
I like the Octopath Traveler games a lot.
I've heard the second one takes a lot of what was crappy about the first one and fixes it.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Yeah. Now moving on to the gold category, we got a lot of games that you'll recognize: Stardew Valley, Street Fighter 6, Red Dead Redemption 2, Hades, Sea of Stars. That's a new one. Halls of Torment, Risk of Rain returns. You got Dead Cells still on there after a few years.
That's an old game.
Yep. Diablo 4. Something called Brotato. I don't know, but I'm interested. Counter-Strike 2, which is really interesting because that is a competitive shooter. Highly competitive, very twitchy, and
Yeah.
people are playing it on the Steam Deck. That makes no sense to me.
A lot of
So-
people to make it on this list.
Yeah, to make it onto the gold tier.
Yeah.
And then in the platinum tier, there's a lot on here that I would just not have thought. Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt.
That makes
the
sense.
cut. That one makes sense. Elden Ring, I heard runs pretty good on the Steam Deck, so that
It
one
does.
kind of makes
It
sense.
runs really well.
Half-Life 1 made the cut on platinum because they just redid a 25th anniversary version of it where they modernized the controls and everything to work well on the Steam Deck. Sleeper indie hit, I guess it's not much of a sleeper because it was pretty widely acclaimed. Dave the Diver, that one made it. Now here's where we start to get into the realm of Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon.
Makes sense.
You think so?
Oh yeah, it's a brand new game from Software, one of the biggest gaming companies out there at this
But it's
point.
pretty demanding, isn't it?
No. I mean, it was on last gen.
Yeah, all right. Well, Hogwarts Legacy.
That
makes-
runs surprisingly well. Because,
Really?
Yeah, I've
it runs
tried
like-
it a couple times.
It runs like Dookie on the regular PC.
It does, but with the Steam Deck, it has precompiled shaders from Steam, so that goes a long way. And of course, you can't use RT features, which run really poorly on the desktop, no matter what computer you have.
Baldur's 3 made the cut, which isn't too surprising. If you drop it down to the lowest settings, it runs pretty decent on until you get to Act 3 on the Steam Deck. It runs a lot better on the ROG Ally.
Yeah.
I've played it on both, and it runs quite a bit better on the Ally.
Are you streaming him though? Does this count whether or not you're streaming from
No,
your...
this is like running
installed
natively on the
on- oh,
hardware.
okay.
Yeah. But these are the two that really threw me off. Starfield was
That
on
would
the list.
run like crap on the Steam
Runs
Deck.
like Dookie on the Steam. Yeah, on the Steam Deck. It doesn't run good on the Ally either. And then Cyberpunk 2077, which
Maybe
that
people
is-
just like the loading screen because I feel like that's the only thing that will...
Well, there's an actual Steam Deck preset for
yeah,
Cyberpunk.
there's a Steam Deck
Oh,
preset,
okay.
but I don't know. I guess like it really trashes the visuals to get it to run on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, but I think it's probably. I mean, for me, it's like I don't want to spend a ton of money on a PC, right? So I'm going to buy a Steam Deck, and I want to play these games, and I may not care as much about the visuals as maybe you guys do, right? So I'm
especially
okay with
on
that.
especially on a tiny screen.
Yeah.
You can pick up a refurbished Steam Deck for like $250.
That's true.
Yeah.
there.
So this is like
Cheap
the
on that.
cheapest entrance into the Steam
Okay.
ecosystem.
Well, there
It's
you
a great way to
go.
play Steam games, and it's like, oh, I have a Switch, might as well buy a Steam Deck. I can play a bunch of games, and I don't care what they look like because it's portable.
There's the
Fair.
The longer we go, though, the less games will run on it. Like Immortals
Yeah.
of Avium, that just will not run on even the
Well,
Ally,
yeah.
as well as Jedi Survivor. That game is just way too demanding.
So there was a big buzz for developers to become Steam certified. Do you think that's going to start falling off, like the Steam Deck certified? They would.
No, I think that's going to continue because the games that Jaron mentions that really run poorly on the Steam Deck, that like or not at all, are games that are very poorly optimized anyway on the PC.
Right.
I really hope though that with the popularity of the Steam Deck, this will encourage companies to have better scalable settings.
Right, to be mindful of
great.
it at least, to actually
yeah.
plan for that instead of just being like, "Wait, you want to do what with it now? You want,
Yeah.
you want to play with it on that?
You
It
want-
barely runs on this monster, but you don't get to play on there.
You don't have the top of the line CPU, and it still
Right.
runs bad on that.
Oof.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. So yeah, I'm all for scalability. So there you go. There's the top list of games that people played on the Steam Deck. Now, as for the Steam Deck awards, or
Steam
I should
Awards.
say Steam Awards, this is interesting because this is 100% community driven. This is not anything to do with taking into account the votes of the industry. This is just the player's choice, basically. And this is another one where I was surprised at who won a lot of these and even what was nominated, because that's another thing. These games have to be nominated by the community. They're not picked by Steam. They're picked by the community, even for just the nominations. So your Game of the Year award, unsurprising, Baldur's Gate 3. So, yeah. That's,
People are pretty spicy about that.
That it was Game of the Year?
Spider-Man,
Steam.
Spider-Man's.
Oh, well, that's not
Spider-Man
an option
people.
on Steam.
It's not
Yeah.
even on PC.
Oh, this is
This is just Steam games.
okay.
Yep.
I was talking about the
Yeah,
Game Awards.
well,
There's
yeah,
some
those-
some spiciness going on about the.
Those Spider-Man 2 crybabies really wanted. Now, I will say this. Spider-Man 2 felt like it got a little snubbed in
did.
general because it didn't win anything,
You're right.
if I remember correctly. And it is a fantastic game. It's probably my second favorite game of the year. Just because I didn't play Alan Wake 2 last year. I'm playing that right now, and that is freaking phenomenal. But it would easily make number 3, or it would be a close number 2. So anyway, and the games that made the final 5, or the final 6, the finalists, you had it's 5. Resident Evil 4, Lethal Company, which is crazy because that game just came out and it's janky as all in early access, but supposedly really fun co-op. FC24, which is soccer, EA, your EA like FIFA Cup 24, and Hogwarts Legacy was Game of the Year nominee on Steam Awards, which surprises me because it doesn't run well. But anyway, what do I know? VR, that was something called Labyrinthine, and that one you had that game, F1 2023, I Expect You to Die 3, Gorilla Tag, and Ghosts of Tabor. So yeah, a bunch of VR games that most of us have never heard of. Labor of Love Award. Now this is the games that have been out for a while, and the team is well past the debut of their creative baby, but the good parents they are. This is their definition of it. These devs continue to nurture and support their creation. This game to this day is still getting new content after all these years. Now this one really surprised me because I remember reading an article complaining about this game for this exact reason, because it wasn't being supported well with new content. But Red Dead Redemption 2 won. And if I remember,
it getting new content?
no, it's not. It has had the same battle pass, or whatever you want to call it, quarterly achievement pass thing. The same one 3 times in a row, 3 quarters in a row. They've just released the same pass.
Okay, so it's just the Rockstar.
Fanboys is
Fanboys.
all I know. All I can think of. And then in that list as well was Apex Legends, Deep Rock Galactic, Dota 2, and Rust. And I think any of those games is probably more deserving of this than Red Dead Redemption.
Do you still
2.
play Deep Rock Galactic, Jaron? I tried that game and it was hard.
I haven't played it in a while with my friends. I
could-
just haven't really played with my friends much lately,
Right.
but
I couldn't really get into it either.
I loved it. I thought it was fun.
Maybe I played with you or someone who knew what they
Yeah.
were doing. We would have
Yeah.
enjoyed it more.
I was more confused most of the time. Like, wait, what am I?
Yeah.
I guess I'll just blast in this direction.
Best game on Steam Deck, Hogwarts Legacy pulled the win there, which I guess, since you said it runs a lot better on there, that makes more sense to me now.
It's actually decent. Like, there's still some drops, but it can have a pretty solid 30 FPS most
pretty
of the time.
consistent. Nice.
Yeah.
Nominees on there were the Outlast Trials, Diablo 4, Dredge, and Brotato. Let's see. Better with Friends Award. So your co-op games, the winner was Lethal Company which is surprising just because that game literally came out like a month ago, the beginning of December, I think, or maybe the end of November. It's just made that big of a splash. In that category, though, you had Party Animals, Dark Tide, Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide, Sons of the Forest, and something called Sunken Land. Now, this one, I have a grudge with a bone to pick on this one, and it really kind of bugs me. But it was Outstanding Visual Style Award. Visual style doesn't aspire, this is their definition, doesn't aspire to real-world graphical fidelity, though a noble goal in and of itself. It describes a distinctive look and feel that's
like an art style,
suffuses the entire game. Yeah, basically your art direction. And the winner of this one was Atomic Heart, which does have a unique and interesting art style, but I don't think it was better than like these other games on here. Inward, Cocoon. I think High on Life had a more interesting art style. It was on there as well, and one called Darkest Dungeon 2. So, but my bone to pick with Atomic Heart is actually probably not related enough to that visual style for it to count. But that's the game that made all these huge promises with ray tracing. How they were working with NVIDIA and they were going to have all the cutting edge ray tracing and everything at launch. And then they launched and said, we don't have any ray tracing. It's coming later. And 8 months later, there's still no ray tracing.
Like not even a
Nice.
cent.
Not even a teeny bit. No ray tracing still. It's just like, what? Most Innovative Gameplay Award, Starfield.
Yeah, good.
That tracks.
Interesting.
That's funny because right now the reviews on Steam are mixed at 89,403.
Are they mixed? I thought I went down to mostly negative.
The recent reviews are mostly negative, 7,325.
That's why I'm surprised it made the cut on here, let alone won for most innovative gameplay. A lot of the reviews I've read on it too, and I can see their point. They say this just feels like a slightly altered Skyrim in space with sci-fi trappings. So how innovative is that in reality? But
got that big Skyrim energy.
Yeah, it's got that big Skyrim energy. So the nominees on that one was something called Contraband Police, something called Your Only Move is Hustle. Then you had Remnant 2 and Shadows of Doubt. Let's see. Best Game You Suck At Award, one called Sifu. Other ones are ones you'd expect to see: Street Fighter 6, Overwatch 2, FIFA Cup 24, and Lords of the Fallen. Best Soundtrack Award, Last of Us Part 2. And I think I have to agree. The music in that game is really, did I say Part 2? I meant Part 1. Last of Us Part 1.
Yeah, if Alan Wake 2 was sold on Steam, that would have gotten it for sure.
I think you're right, yeah. That's really, really good.
It is. It's phenomenal.
Other games that were nominated in this: Pizza Tower, Persona 5 Tactica, Chance, like Chants of Stenar, and Hi-Fi Rush, which Hi-Fi Rush I think probably maybe should have got the nod on that.
Are these all awards on Steam Deck?
No, this is for
No,
just
just
Steam in
Oh,
general.
oh, Steam. Okay.
Yep.
Like the music is across any platform. I'd be weird if they're just like, this just sounds really good on Steam Deck.
Oh, no, it's just the game music in general.
Okay.
And then 2 more to go. Outstanding Story-Rich Game Award, obviously, Baldur's Gate 3.
Obviously.
The other nominees for that were Jedi Survivor, Resident Evil 4, Lies of P, and then what is this one? It's in Love is All Around. I never heard of that one.
Did you pick up Baldur's Gate 3, Jaren, when it was 10% off?
I did. I have yet to install it, though.
Get on it.
Yeah, I might return it.
No, it's so good. I'm 5 or 6 hours into a co-op play with Squink. We are having a blast.
How does that work, the co-op? Is it
So,
just you
we can go over that in a
independently
sec
run
if
it?
you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Sit Back and Relax Award, most relaxing style game. Dave the Diver won that one. Went up against Potion Craft, Coral Island, Train Sim World 4, and City Skylines 2. So there you go, the Steam Awards.
Fun.
Now, as for playing Baldur's Gate 3 in multiplayer, So what you do is you basically set up a game and you can have people join, but it at that point it becomes a cooperative game where it thinks that character's in the game all the time no matter what. So if you try to play as the game owner, like as that game's the
So
person
you
that
can only
started
play
that
as
game,
co-op after that.
yeah, you just end up with a character there that stands there and does nothing.
Oh, because it always loads that person in.
It always loads that person in. Yeah.
And both players get to create their own character then.
Yep. You both.
Okay.
Yep. And so, I think you can just take his character and put it back at camp and recruit another character to
I
go
was
in
gonna
its
say,
place.
do you just kill him and then put him in your inventory and run around with him? Like,
So, I'm not sure exactly how that works because we haven't tried it yet, but I do know for a fact that the person that started the game is basically in control of the campaign at that point.
like all the decision making.
Yep. Well, not necessarily. Someone else can initiate dialogue and do the decision making and stuff like that. And
Without you, like, does it pop it up on your screen? How
so
does that control
a little icon goes and shows that this person is in a dialogue.
I
You click on it and you can see the dialogue and do it with them. It is it's awesome.
I'm
it's a
glad
blast.
because like they put thought into that. It wasn't like a afterthought. They kind of always planned on this,
Yeah.
and they put a lot of effort into, because that's not easy to integrate something that's kind of supposed to be a first player game, like into a multiplayer where the other person doesn't just feel like they're being dragged along. Remember
Yeah.
Halo co-op when it used to be like, oh, there's 2 Master Chiefs.
Yep.
Okay. But then I think it was Halo 3 where you got to run around as the elite,
The arbiter.
the arbiter, and you were like, this is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much replayability. It's crazy. I could definitely see.
Steal the ring from the Jinn this time.
I'm going to try it. I'm going to try for it.
Get banished.
All right. Let's see. We have let's talk about how the FTC is still trying to stick their thumb
They
in
won't-
Microsoft Activision's pie.
They can't stop. They're like,
Can't
hey,
stop, won't stop.
they won't. They're like, look. They basically just went back and said, we think you're wrong. We don't like your judgment, and we think that you've made a mistake, and we want to prove that you might have made a mistake. And so,
Jeez.
they're basically saying, look, the judge said you didn't prove your case. And they're saying we showed that this was not a good idea for that, and we'd like you to relook at it. They showed in the past what Microsoft did, alleging to Microsoft. So some of their ZeniMax games they made exclusive after buying the company, and they were trying to prove that they showed that. And so they're trying to say. Microsoft's lawyer came back and said, this FTC case is weak. He said that the agency had asked the lower court for too much leeway. It's also clear that the standard can't be as low as the FTC is suggesting, he said. It can't be a mere scintilla of evidence. I want to find exactly what they said, because it's super interesting the way the FTC worded it. He said that he told a 3-judge appeals court, their lawyer Abyad said that the FTC was only to show that Microsoft had the ability and incentive to withhold Activision's games from rival game platforms. Not that they would, not that they have. They just said that
they could, basically.
That they could.
And
they
that
might.
want to.
That's all we were trying to prove, and I think we proved that. So I think you need to reverse the ruling or something.
Jeez.
And Microsoft's lawyers like, no, that's not fair. Like to prove a scintilla, like just a small.
To prove that the possibility exists, basically.
Especially with so much goodwill from Microsoft, where they signed the deal with
10-year deals,
the
all
10-year
that crap.
deal.
Yeah.
I mean, they went and talked to Nintendo. Didn't they talk to Nintendo about this?
Nintendo, Nvidia,
everybody. They were like, look, we're trying to do this above board. We're trying to make this we really want this deal to go through. And
they did that.
Maybe
that spin-off thing for streaming in the UK with
That's
Ubisoft.
right. Yeah, they offloaded that. So. Anyway, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. But the fact that the FTC just can't let a dead dog lie, it's
Well,
pretty
it's an
sad.
issue of
So-
pride at this point. They just
Yeah.
they can't. They're the FTC head commissioner or whatever her name is. I can't remember her name, but
Yeah.
she's just she just can't take it that she lost
Yeah.
again.
Um,
Well, there you go.
yeah,
We'll see if
Abby had
anything-
wanted to say, well, we just need to do more analysis, and they're just saying this was not a rush job by the FTC. It's like,
Yeah,
you guys,
yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. I can't believe that it's still coming up and an issue at all.
Yeah,
Bizarre.
it's ridiculous. All right. Well, in better news, Jaron can finally buy he can finally buy that Peeping Dorm Manager game that he wants, and no one will notice.
What?
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
What
So
game
s-
is this?
Peeping Dorm.
Oh, there's an
Peeping Dorm
underbelly.
Manager.
There is an underbelly to Steam,
Dude,
by
it's to the
way.
point where it's not even really an underbelly anymore.
No.
Like, it's out there in plain
It's almost
view.
just in a kaleidoscope now. It's out there, like
It's a
you can
big
see
beer
it.
belly in full
Yeah.
view.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So Valve announced a new privacy feature for Steam at the end of December that will let you not only hide games that you own, put them as private so none of your friends can see that you own these games, but they will even let you purchase them privately so that nobody can see that you bought these questionable games.
The Steam but Steam does that, right? Like they will announce like to your friends, like
yeah,
if
you
you're
know,
on your friends list.
Well, so and so just bought this game. You know,
Like when you
basically,
bought that spicy game, Owen. Everyone knew. Everyone.
I know.
Everyone knew.
I know.
So I wanted them to know.
And
Well, I'm
why did you buy that?
What game was it?
I don't remember.
It was a game that Jaron gave you the code for.
Oh, it was that
Owen.
Lust game.
Oh yeah, that's what it
It
was.
was the one Jaron had the code for that he gave it to you.
I started playing that Lust game, that Lust whatever on Christmas break. I'm like, I'm gonna
You
see what
actually
this is
did
all
it?
about.
Yeah, it's a horror game. It's actually a horror game, and I was like, well,
Weird.
yeah. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
but then it was. But
I
then
got
I
it
was
in
like,
some like Ukraine bundle where
Sure,
it came with
sure
50
you
here,
games.
so here's the thing. I bought it. I started playing it, and I was like, I mean, I'm not really into this, but maybe if I had the spicy version, it would be more cool. And so he gave, because Jaron's code is the M edition,
Oh,
which is the.
not
I'm
which is
sorry,
the-
Owen. I
Yeah,
thought I
you're-
gave
you're-
you the full
and so
Monty.
the
and
adults
so-
only.
And so the winter sale had it for like $4.
Did
and
you
I was
really
like-
buy it?
I bought it straight up. I bought the full. I bought the full game, and I'm gonna play through that horror game. It's a horror game, if anybody's asking. So that's why I'm playing.
WHORE
Oh, maybe I don't know.
horror game.
Horror game. Anyway, I did buy that spicy game,
Wow.
Well,
and
there
you
you
guys
go.
and you guys saw it, right?
See,
So
Jared-
you can't
Jared was
blame
just-
me for this at all.
He was just messing
I
with
can.
you. Turns out it's real.
No, I did. I did. Yeah.
So yeah, you'll be able to mark these as for my account private when
It's
you
a
buy
beta,
these
though, right?
now. Yeah, it's is it in beta? I thought it was. Oh
thought
yeah,
you-
it's for Steam beta testers right
Yeah,
now, so it's not
yeah.
rolled out to the general public just yet.
Yeah.
So maybe hold off, Jaron. Don't buy that other one yet.
Yeah,
But
don't
it's-
like I did, because I
Be-
thought that it was gonna be.
Be careful when you're looking at games on Steam. If you don't want to see some of these freaking hentai games, because they're sometimes just popping up in the what's popular list.
Oh no.
Because there's a lot of people checking these games out and buying them. Like, yeah, and they do not censor the screenshots on the
They
games.
do not. No.
It's
I've had the
it's
store
pretty-
open. I've had the store open and been like, ugh.
can get pretty wild and hairy. Yeah, I mean what I said.
You said what you meant.
Mm-hmm.
You said
You
what
know
you
what
said.
you said.
And I meant what I said. So keep an eye out for that. Let's see. This is also really interesting. So there was a hacker that was busted for, I can't remember what he was busted for first, but while he was in custody,
Oh, I read this. This is so good.
he hacked Rockstar using
yeah.
his smartphone, a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, and an Amazon Fire Stick.
Yeah.
So good.
He was able to
How does
hack.
the Fire Stick play into this?
I think that was what he used for his internet connection with his smartphone. I don't know exactly what he might have used some of its Linux underpinnings. I don't know.
Yeah, he was in custody for hacking, right?
He was
And
in
then-
custody for hacking.
They had him in a hotel, and they're like, you are in big trouble, mister.
He's
No
only
internet for you.
18-year-old kid,
Yeah.
right? And while he was there, he used those tools to hack into Rockstar
Crazy.
and was able to
Pull
pull
their-
at least 90 videos of GTA 6 development materials. 90 videos worth.
This is what prompted them to release the trailer early and to drop that early. This seems like this is the attack that
No.
released
They
the preview.
released it. That happened because it was an employee's son
Oh, okay.
posted it early to his like Twitter or something.
And so then they were like,
So like,
okay,
well, let's
we'll
just
roll it. Okay.
If I remember correctly, I'm pretty
Did
sure
he?
that's what it was.
So did he pull source material down? Is that what he?
So he pulled a bunch of videos and stuff from the development materials for GTA 6.
that
So it
sounds
wasn't
like
like
source.
the trailer that they
Right.
had curated for the the announcement. This was just a bunch of other stuff that they've
Back
been
end
working on.
stuff, right?
So now the reason this is a story again is because that happened a little while ago. He got sentenced 2 weeks ago, and that's so funny. Let me just summarize this. It was basically this hack happened in a hotel room after his laptop had been confiscated for the previous hack. And yeah, right here, using an Amazon Fire Stick, a hotel TV, and a mobile phone. So basically, he's part of this hacking group called Lapsus $, and they are accused of blackmail, fraud, other charges under the Computer Misuse Act. And the thing about this article is it's talking about his sentencing for the Rockstar hack. And basically, he is being sentenced to life in a secure hospital because they've deemed him not
Like basically not competent.
not competent for like being sent to prison.
He doesn't believe what he's doing. He can't believe what he's doing is wrong. Like he
So-
basically doesn't have the ability.
His name is Ariane Kurtage, and he's been described as acutely autistic. And the BBC reports, this is from the BBC report, and they say that he will remain in a secure hospital for life unless doctors deem him no longer a danger. And
If this guy can hack with a TV and Amazon Fire Stick and
And
a
a smartphone.
phone in a no Wi-Fi hotel or motel,
well, nobody
kind
said
of
there
a-
was no Wi-Fi.
oh right, it must have been connected to something.
Yeah.
So, but like if he can do that there, then it's not that much more of a stretch in a hospital,
Yeah.
in a mental institution. So,
And the reason for this is because, well, let me just finish reading this. This is notably distinct from a sentence of life in prison, which doesn't always run until the actual end of one's life either. But his sentence is still effectively indefinite. A mental health assessment noted that he, quote, continued to express the intent to return to cybercrime as soon as possible.
He's like,
he
"I
is
love this. I'm
highly
not-"
motivated.
yeah.
Wow.
He's like, I love it. Why would I stop doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Just-
this a lot.
Just straight up, I don't care what you do to me. I'll serve my time, and as soon as I get out, I'm going back to it.
Yeah.
This is what I love, and I'm going to keep doing it.
Man, that's a danger shooting your mouth off when you like just
Oh man!
like, and I get it. Like autism makes that not as easy to do, right? Like
right,
to,
not as easy to
hold that
control
back.
your
yeah. Those internal thoughts,
internal
but-
dialogue and things like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, crazy. So he basically he's going to spend the rest of his life in mental healthcare facilities.
They threw the padded book at him.
Exactly, the padded book. So yeah, fascinating stuff. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, we got a good Baldur's Gate 3 story here from Owen, because you got to be careful what you record and upload to your Xbox
Yes.
account.
So you can do some screen sharing through Microsoft's app, right, and do records, and then those screenshots get taken up to the server, and then you can share them on Twitch
Social
or whatever.
media, stuff like
whatever platforms. Well, this player decided to do some naked time in his camp where he undressed everybody and
As
just
you
ran
do.
everybody around as you do. I mean, if you haven't,
As you do.
if
Yeah.
you haven't
Game
run
are you
around,
playing?
Baldur's Gate
Baldur-
3.
my guy, there's something there for everybody. I finally swapped underwears. I
You did the underwear swap.
yeah. So like if you look at them with their clothes off, they have underwear and like as a whatever, and you can
Most video games are that way.
and you can swap
take the
that. It's
underwear off,
actually
too.
it's actually unequipable, and you can send it to another player, and it
and put it
modifies
on
it.
'em.
It morphs to something different for them.
Like the same style of underwear, but
it's still
for a gnome or a halfling or an orc or whatever.
like Astarion's underwear does not look the same on Shadowheart.
Right, exactly.
It's a different color and it's a different style, but
You're saying words,
it's
but
so
I
fun.
don't understand any of them.
So this
You have
guy
to
decided
experience
to
it
have
firsthand.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, there's something in that game for everybody. So this guy decides to have mandatory naked time of everybody running around in camp.
It's not
And he
weird.
took-
You're weird.
Yeah. And
think it's
and he recorded screen clips of it, right? And he was just whatever. I don't know what his intent was with the screen clips, but for whatever reason he had them and they all got uploaded. Those screen clips got automatically uploaded to your cloud storage account for your Xbox account.
I love this
And-
guy's username too, by the way. Daddy Vegas.
Yeah. And so all of a sudden he gets a 3-ban hammer because you have to have 3 strikes, and it goes boom, boom, boom. Your account's banned for a year.
1 year.
For a year, and not just Baldur's Gate. This is his Game Pass Microsoft account. He
Yep.
can't play any other games. His account is banned, and he, of course, like you do, you're like, hold on, that was a mistake. I didn't know I was violating. I wasn't trying to violate the terms. So he goes and appeals. Right? He goes, hey, I'm gonna. Obviously, they're going to see that this was a mistake. I did not. That was for me only. I was not trying to share this or be inappropriate. And Microsoft just says
He was having naked time.
no.
Mandatory naked time, everyone.
Microsoft was just like, nope. Microsoft's like, no, you violated the rules, and we're sticking it to you. Like they're just like absolutely not budging on this ban, even though
Found the enforcement to be
Yep.
warranted.
yeah, warranted. Which if you've ever argued with
Crazy.
Microsoft, and I have a funny story because I have argued with Microsoft. I think I've said this story.
Why am
about
I
my-
not surprised?
with remember the Bing search
Oh,
results?
yep,
And I
yep,
had
yep.
like 7 accounts, and I thought I
Yep.
was smarter than them, and I was like, "How dare you cancel my account? You don't even know who I am." They're like, "We know it's all coming from the same IP." And
These ones, these ones.
and I was like,
Oh.
"Good day, good day." sir." Okay.
You
I
win.
said good day.
Yeah, I was like, well, you didn't. Anyway, once they have just deemed that they are warranted, it's basically a shut door. No more doorbell, no more handle, nothing. There's like go away, and so his account is banned for 1 year, and that means that he can't play any games unless he creates a new account, of course.
Right,
but
create
he
a new
can't play any.
But
Can't
if
play
you're
any.
like me, you like digitally downloaded games on
Right.
the other
if you
account.
especially if you paid for like a year's supply of Game Pass or something.
Oh yeah.
Or I mean, or a gold membership or whatever. Remember, like, you can't play. You're out. You're done. So be careful what you record in the screenshots, particularly around spicy games, because is there a setting? I never do screen recordings and stuff like that. Is there a setting not to automatically upload it? Because
Oh, yeah,
the
for
thing
sure.
is, he got nailed. He got nailed so fast on this because he uploaded multiple clips.
Yeah.
and then they came back at him all within
Each
a
one's
minute.
a strike. Yeah.
Each one was a strike, and so he got, instead of like one infraction where they were like, "Hey, what's
It was
going
a
on?"
bunch.
It was ding, ding, ding because they were separate files, and it seems like it's AI or some sort of automated system. I don't think it's a person. I think it's just something was like
Yeah. It's the
violation.
hot-
Ding, ding,
it's
ding.
the app Hot Dog or Not Hot Dog.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
all it uses.
Which is a perfect allegory there. Hot dog or not hot dog?
Not a hot dog.
Uh,
Yeah, what's funny too is at the end of this article right here, they said Baldur's Gate, this is thegamer.com, basically says, hopefully Daddy Vegas doesn't actually have to wait out a year-long ban to play online again, though at least they have something in common with Jaheira. Is that her name? Jaheira?
Yeah,
in
Jaheira.
Baldur's Gate 3. Jaheira actor Tracy Wiles, who recently got banned from YouTube for saying the word sphincter a whole lot.
really? YouTube banned her for
I
that?
guess so.
Awesome.
And we only said it once so far, so don't ban us, YouTube.
Yeah,
We're not going to
yeah.
say it again. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Wow.
Yeah, hilarious. So,
Yeah.
all right, and last but not least, the earbuds we've all been waiting for. I just love
Wait,
any
what
excuse to
show
talk
is
about
this?
earbuds.
What show are we in? Is this
Yeah,
Arcade?
you'll see why.
This?
You'll see why this is
Arcade?
arcade and it's earbuds.
Oh.
They are Sega Dreamcast and Sega Genesis themed earbuds.
Oh
Themed?
boy.
Yep.
What?
So the video game company Iconic and Sega. Oh, just kidding. That's not how the word works. Iconic video game company Sega, sorry, is tapping into gamers' nostalgia to put out these accessories based on their popular vintage
What
consoles.
a cash grab.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Ugh.
This is 100% just hey, you guys want these cool themed earbuds?
Remember when Sega was cool?
Yeah, I do remember.
Scott, this is putting off Atari hat speaker vibes, right?
Yeah, but it's actually a lot less money, and they're $109 a piece, and it's still a lot less money than they charged for that speaker hat. What did they charge for that thing? I think it started at like 150 or 200, if I remember correctly.
Oh, the speaker hat.
But yeah, so they have a Dreamcast themed one and a Mega Drive or Sega Genesis if you're in North America themed set of earbuds, and the cases look like the consoles, and
That's
the
pretty cool, actually.
earbuds on the Dreamcast, the earbuds look like the input controls, and on the Sega Genesis, the earbuds look like logos off of the you have the 16-bit logo and the Mega Drive logo.
The Dreamcast is clearly the better option out of the
It
two.
is.
It looks cooler for sure. But yeah, I honestly don't expect these to sound very good.
But you're gonna buy a pair?
No,
Of course
I
he's
am
gonna
not.
buy a
You
pair.
owe it to
I
the
will
listeners,
not.
Tony.
No,
I think
I
you
will
need
not.
the Dreamcast ones to put on your shelf.
I will not.
I'm surprised we're having to try so hard.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Twyman will buy these because they're retro
Is there any
themed.
place to buy? Is there any place to buy these old games? Like if you want it, like an emulation, or if you emulate them, do you have to rely on pirating them or downloading the ISOs? Like, where can you get these legitimate? Where can you get ISOs legitimately for these?
Sega
Like
has available for sale like the Sega Genesis collection.
Yeah.
You have to use the emulator built into the game itself,
I
but there's
see.
like 30
That's
to
how they-
40 Sega Genesis games.
What about
Some of
Dreamcast?
them-
Did they ever emulate?
They have resold Dreamcast games in Steam. Like you can buy
few of
Sonic
them.
Adventure 1 and 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can,
It's pretty slim pickings though.
yeah, like Crazy Taxi as well is on there, I think.
Well, and in the Game Awards, they announced they're bringing five of their IPs back from the dead, and they're going to make
Right.
new versions of 5 of their games, like Golden Axe and Crazy Taxi and stuff
Yeah,
like that. So,
it kind of is the season for retro games. Like they're
everything old is
cashing-
new again. you
Yeah,
know?
everything old is new again, where they're just basically cashing in on
Yep.
old IP.
All right. Well, that's it. This is the end of the first episode of the new year, 2024.
2024.
Happy New Year!
Before we get out of here, though, we want to give a big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers, patreon.com/gadgetspot. Thank you so much for your support through all the years and ongoing. And if you donate $6 a month or more, you get a shout out on the air, which Jaron has for us right now.
Thank you to David Roshinsky, Connor Keesaw, and Wiffleball Tony. Si Se Puede, Reap rewards your booting router registries religiously. Andy Bird, Be the 8-Year-Old, Travis Johnson, buy Geekshow Arcade Help Desk stickers at Pieman Graphics on Etsy. All proceeds go to Lee George Cade's medical bills. Jeremy, No Name, No Color, Kesslo, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz, Owen has tech cred, Matt Nelson, Mr. Hand, and Mr. Spicoli. In 2024, Aloha, It's Our Time, Josh D., Adam, Aaron Faulkner, Stuart Lloyd, Joe, There's No Place Like G28, X0, Y0, Z0, Ryan M, and Adam Hecht. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Patreon backers. Owen, take us out.
Hey, we hope you care.
Poor Jaron.